My name is Donna, and I started this rescue organization, North Toronto Cat Rescue, 28 years ago. It began in September. I found some cats, and they were in very good shape, and they were dying of starvation in a gully. And anyway, I went home and I got food for them, and I put that food down, but they had succumbed, so I left the food for the rest of the eyes that were in the bushes, and I did not know what those eyes were. And the next day I went back and the food was gone, so I left more food. So in November, the very beginning of November, a Sunday, foggy Sunday afternoon, I drove my car down behind another area to the top of the gully and put a large plate of food down, and 45 cats came out of that gully to eat. I was quite astounded by what I'd been feeding. There was nothing left of them. They were thin. That day changed my life forever. That's where the journey began. It continued for about 5 years, actually. I brought them to my house, I trapped them, I brought them through, I vaccinated them, spayed them, found them homes, trapped some more, but at the same time I was feeding, and it was like $50 a day to feed them. So the colony in general cost me about $26,000 out of my pocket to make that happen, so they didn't suffer anymore. The journey was not easy. One night I slipped down, I had my nice leather boots on, and I went barreling down the gully backwards and hit my head, and I thought, oh, nobody knows I'm here. It was minus 30 degrees. I thought, this is it, but didn't hurt myself. People put signs up, if I see you here one more time, I'll poison everything in this gully. So I had to work even faster to get them out. This shelter is a no-kill environment. These cats run free. If a cat would be in agony or in pain, or if a cat gets hit by a car, Lordy, we would certainly look after them. But our vision is to take care of them, to help them. I mean, one came in recently who was hyperthyroid. The surgery was a $2,000 surgery. I mean, unless it would be some horrible situation, this is no kill. We try to fix them, and cats live very short lives outside, so everything we bring in is very young and deserves a chance. Outside life is about 1 to 1.5 years, and indoors 18 to 25 years. Nothing should suffer, and there are many reasons to have to euthanize because of that. But an animal, just to think that's animal control, that's not justified in my thinking. We don't just get rid of them to control them. Our everyday maintenance is fairly extensive here. Because we have over 200 cats, some of which are in cages for a reason. When they first come in, they're in isolation areas. These are the reasons for the cages. Once they are vetted, they are out of these cages, but they must be vetted first. Then they're allowed to roam. Also, on the note of caging, we do have outside areas where these cats can tunnel through windows into safe dens if they choose to go in the nice weather. And that gives them some extra air. Although, having said that, most of these gully cats do not even take advantage of the dens. We had a kitty named Jeeves, and pictures are here in the shelter to show how Jeeves looked when he came in. He was all frostbitten. He was so thin he could hardly stand up. And Jeeves was then adopted out. He became a big fluffy cat, which he didn't look like that coming in. Everybody was surprised to see what Jeeves really looked like when he was well. Cats are indoor creatures. They don't need to be outside, and anyone that comes to this environment and sees these gully cats laying around in the sun will understand this is not 100 years ago. These aren't big farms. It's dangerous outside. We have to leave the area we're in due to redevelopment in the area. So our large focus right now is finding a place to go by the end of 2016, and we need help with that. So that's what we're asking, public help, funding, all of those things. We don't get any government support. I started this because I cared. There are many people who care. This is not unique. I mean, whatever species it is, you have groups doing all sorts of species, but for here, it happens to be cats, and it's in crisis situation. There are probably over 100,000 strays out there. That's why I'm doing this, night and day, 17 hours a day. This is a labor of love. We are their voice. We have to speak. They have no voice.